Chikorita. Okay, I can't help it. Chikorita is just too cute. One of my all-time favorite Pokemon because I love the plant types. They are definitely one of my favorites, and this is a adorable Chikorita plushie that was actually given to me by our patrons as a gift, and I cherish it and love it. It is one of the softest plushies I have ever had in my life, and it actually lives on my desk, so it can give me a cheerful little sprout of greenery to look at and remind me of our awesome Pixelmon Ranger videos that we used to do. Maybe one day I will return to you, my wonderful, wonderful Chikoritas. But for now, we are actually going to be looking into something really cool that came this week. And that will be the Nintendo Switch that is now sitting next to me in my office. I am so excited. This is my very first Nintendo Switch, my very first time holding my own device and being able to play with it and try it out. And it is so much cooler than I thought it was going to be. And it is actually the bundle edition for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And yes, I know Chikorita is not an Eevee, but I do not have an Eevee plushie and I love her anyway. But alright, I'm gonna put her down. And I just wanted to share how cool this bundle is with you guys, because I was a little bit hesitant, you know, grown up, you're supposed to choose the cheapest option, you're supposed to choose the most logical thing, but I let my childhood nostalgia win out and decided if I was going to get a Switch so that I could share all of these adventures with you guys, well, I wanted to get something special. So because there was no Animal Crossing Switch up for grabs just yet, I went ahead and got the bundle for Pikachu and Eevee Let's Go, and it's adorable. It is so cute. I am really in love with the design. I am in love with the Switch itself. It is so much easier to use. I was honestly a little bit more intimidated by it than I wanted to admit. What is it? Is it a console? Is it a handheld device? What does it want to be? Maybe I'm getting a little old for this, but yeah, when I got the box in the mail and opened up the cardboard and peeled it back and saw these faces looking at me, yeah, I made the right choice. This is Nostalgia City, and if you are like me and you are trying to decide what kind of Switch you wanted, if you have any of the glitter in your heart, any of that excited sort of skip that your heart does when you think about something that just brings you a lot of happiness. It's a pinch of nostalgia. It's a world that you wish you could be part of. It's a place that just has given you so many different adventures and companions and stories that you can still go back to in your own mind. And because it was popular, you can actually share so many of those stories with so many people. The bundle might be worth it for you. And I'm not trying to sell it or anything like that. I just really want to reiterate, I felt my heart skip a happy beat. It was like a little kid inside of my heart just let out a happy squeal and felt like it was Christmas, opening up my cardboard box and seeing this waiting for me. So yes, I think it already was totally worth it. It's really, really cute. This is what the Eevee version of the box will look like, and it does come with several different things. When you get the bundle, you get the Switch and its dock. It's very cute little dock itself. You get the very special, oh my gosh, I can't wait to show them to you guys, the Joy-Cons, which honestly, when I was watching the Nintendo Direct and when I was browsing and trying to figure out how I was going to budget for the Switch, I was like, Joy-Con, it's just a controller, but it's a lot cuter in person than I thought a brown Joy-Con could be. I'll show you guys in just a second. But you get the Switch, the dock, the Joy-Cons, you get the actual game, so you have a download for the game that will come with this as well, and you get the Pokeball. So I thought I'd show you guys these things because I was really on the fence, and I'm really, really, really glad I have it now. And already having this has allowed me to share our adventures in Let's Go Eevee with you. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see our Let's Play of this yet, but it is so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was really prepared to kind of have a watered down re-release of something that I loved a lot as a child, and it is really weird not to battle Pokemon. I actually didn't know that was coming because I was trying to go in blind like I love to do with games. So I didn't know that you don't battle the wild Pokemon. You actually just try to level up your Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu by catching them and occasionally battling other trainers or in gyms. completely different than any of the other Pokemon games I've ever played, but it's beautiful. It is a beautiful world. I can honestly say when I am playing it on the Switch, so just the little screen that you have here, or when I am playing it on my computer so that I can record it for our adventures together, it's got such detail and depth that it just enchants me. It doesn't erase any of the feelings that I had for the original teensy tiny little screen on the GameCube that, or on the Game Boy, excuse me, that I used to play on back when it was Pokemon Red and Blue. It doesn't make me feel like it's just like a cheap and rushed out version of the game either. It really feels like a immersive world that kind of brings that old world that gave me so much joy as a child a totally new depth. So I'm really loving how beautiful the game is already, even if the gameplay mechanics are quite different than I'm used to, and I'm still sort of adjusting to it. But you guys have probably seen a few episodes of our Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Let's Play. I'm really hoping I can go all the way through to the end and maybe even dovetail it with some of the stuff going on with Pokemon Let's Go, or there's Pokemon Go. There's a lot of goes flying around. It's kind of like watching Pokeballs fly all over the place. But it does actually sync with Pokemon Go, which is pretty exciting. If you have been a consistent player of Pokemon Go, you're probably going to be very much rewarded for that in the actual Pokemon Let's Go Eevee game, or Pikachu, if you happen to pick Pikachu. I'm not biased. I think you could love either of them. Eevee just definitely suits me very well. But I think you'll be very rewarded by being able to get a lot of candies, and I've even heard rumors of like transfers between the two systems, which actually gives me a lot of hope as a Animal Crossing lover, in case you guys can't tell from the completed Animal Crossing amiibo set and the multiple, custom Animal Crossing amiibos that I have, commissioned over the years. As an Animal Crossing lover, I'm really hoping that seeing Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu pair together is an indicator that eventually the Animal Crossing for Switch will actually end up pairing with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which I play avidly every single day. Tom Nook has had a few more of my bucks than I care to admit, but I love collecting the limited edition items in Pokemon, or in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and I'm really hoping that seeing this pairing between the mobile and the console versions of the two Pokemon games is an indicator of what may happen with Animal Crossing when the Switch version comes out. If you guys have thoughts about that, I really want to hear it, because I love Animal Crossing and I love Pokemon. So I really don't mind seeing there be versions of the game that contribute to each other, especially because it doesn't seem like you're going to lose out on anything in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu if you aren't a Pokemon Go player. However, if you are and you want to play the console version of the game, getting the Pokeball may help you. This is it. This is what the little Pokeball looks like. It's so much smaller than Chips and I expected. It took us back a little bit, but it's quite cute and it acts as a controller for the game. So if you actually want to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, you can play the whole thing just using this Pokeball, which I haven't really tried yet because I'm still getting just used to the Joy-Cons, but it's small, it's light, you can turn it on, it buzzes, it makes noise, it also lights up, which I think is pretty cute. And you can use it as the controller if you want to, and that does add a different sort of immersive level to the game, like I was mentioning earlier. The art is already very immersive, the cutscenes are immersive, the angles chosen in the game are very immersive, so you really feel like you're in that world, especially as high quality as all of the graphics are. And when you hold the Pokeball, since most of the game is geared towards the feeling of collecting a Pokemon, apparently so that, they can be researched and happily released if you want to put them in the Pokemon Park later. But because most of the game is geared around collecting Pokemon, there is a fun, extra immersive element that has never really been part of the games before. Physically holding a Pokeball, which now that I'm looking at it, kind of is about the size of the shrunk down Pokeballs in all of the animes, before they tap it and sometimes it gets bigger. This one this would be like actually holding a Pokeball, and then you would gently toss it like this. So you wouldn't actually throw it, and just like the Joy-Cons, it has a safety strap so you don't chuck it through a window. I've already tossed my Joy-Cons and already been very happy I had the wrist straps on a couple times, so definitely use them. They're there for a reason, trust me. But it does add that extra layer of immersion that really makes me happy for the younger people in particular. Because if I had physically picked up a Pokeball, it has a little bit of weight to it too, and physically kind of given it a little toss, that would have changed the game for me quite a bit. I really like that, and if that's not your thing, you can actually use different settings so that you don't have to manually do the motion and toss the Pokeballs in the game. But it's just so cute. It's so cute, it's so small, and you actually will pop the back off here and it will charge on your Switch dock if that is what you want to use. And then if you don't want to use that, and actually, yeah, it'll come right out here. There's a USB cord that'll pop out if you want to charge your Pokeball on the Switch dock. And speaking of the Switch dock, yes, you can see this is what it looks like all put together again. Pikachu on one side, Eevee on the other. Very cute, kind of looks like their little tails popping up. And on the back of the actual Switch, so this is the actual device, which is so weird to me. I still am getting used to that. Am I holding a handheld? Am I holding a console? It's a console that's also a handheld, and I remember when it first came out I thought that was so weird, and it's so seamless to switch between both of them. I really love it. I love being able to play the game on my screen and then just pick it up if I want to go hang out with Chips, go downstairs, and it's still right here. That's really cool. I also love that you can put it in sleep mode very easily and just put it back in the dock if you want to. So if you decide, oh, I need to stop and go do something, you can put the game down and it will stay exactly where you left it off. There's no loading times needed, which is really cool. You can just turn it right back on. That's very helpful, especially if you're super busy or you get interrupted for something. It's something I really wish I had when I used to nanny, because then I could have just put it down, taken care of things, put the kids back to bed, and gotten right back up and not have lost my place. I've actually seen a lot of people who are adults say that that is something they love about the Switch for Stardew Valley, because they're busy, but they can put it down, come back. It's very easy to just like put it in sleep mode, pause it for a second, and resume exactly where you left off without worry. But anyway, for this special bundle edition, you have your Pikachu and you have your Eevee colored Nintendo Joy-Cons, and look at the back. Very, very subtly, you've got Pikachus and Eevees mixed in all over the back, and it's so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. It does not really do justice in the pictures, especially online, of what it looks like. It really looks much more subdued. It almost looks like, what are you even paying for the bundle to make it fancy? But that is definitely a cool feature. Chips, actually, in particular, he has a normal, completely all black Nintendo Switch. He likes how subtle this is because it doesn't really stand out. It's not super Pokemon themed forever. Like if you turn it a little bit, suddenly it just looks like it's black. It's not super overwhelmingly themed, so you don't feel like you have Pokemon shoved in your face if you want to say play Breath of the Wild, or if you want to say play Animal Crossing. But it's there, and it kind of gives it that like modern sleek look, which I really like. So I very much like that. And then finally, when it comes to this whole bundle set, let me grab my Joy-Cons. One of the things we really didn't anticipate, and one of the things we both really love, are the colors of the Joy-Cons. And this is where it kind of gets into a little bit of the silly vanity reasons for getting this bundle, but I really like the fact that these look so cool. I like the fact that the Eevee Joy-Con has such beautiful coloring coming together. It really is the actual colors of the Eevee, and I love the Pikachu colors. The light yellow, and then you've got the brown. They look so boring in the pictures, I'm gonna be honest. I like bright colors, I like happy colors, I like green things. I was desperately scouring for any hint of an Animal Crossing bundle that was coming out, and of course there was nothing on the horizon now. But actually having these these are a lot cuter in person than I thought they would be. So yeah, I'm very happy with these. So if you were looking at them and you're like, brown, I don't know if I want brown Joy-Cons. They look great in person. They have, especially this cream colored Eevee one, they have a coloring to them that is just very nice, very, very nice. And I'm excited because now when we go to visit all of our family and friends, I've got a couple unique colored Joy-Cons, so I will always know which ones are mine. And you can kind of do that silly little vanity thing where you're like, yeah, aren't they cute? Which in the end is probably one of the biggest reasons for buying something like this and buying the bundle. But I'm very happy with everything. Chips has already showed me how to remove the pieces of my Joy-Con, make sure that the lock is undone, press this button on the back, boom, they slip right apart, and just like that, I can go ahead and reattach it to my Switch. So I'm a complete Switch novice. This is the very first time I have actually properly held, handled, and played on a Switch. I was always too nervous to do anything more than just hold a single Joy-Con when Chips was playing with his. But this is very comfortable. It was super easy to use. It was super easy to set up. The Nintendo eShop is so slow and clunky. Don't worry, that's not the machine. That's just the way the shop is set up. If you end up buying the bundle, then you get that instant download of the game. It does not come automatically. You'll get a little sheet. It will have a little code that you will scratch off on the bottom, and you will enter in the Nintendo eShop. Make sure you sync everything up with your Nintendo account so that if you do have Pokemon Go, you can have that crossover. And if there is some kind of crossover with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp in the future, then you can have that crossover as well from whatever device you may be playing that on. But I'm very happy with it. It's a lot easier to use. It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to. And the device, the games, the response time, everything I've messed with my Switch so far, I've been super happy with. So I highly recommend it, and I have to say, I think I may have the bug. I may have just a pinch, just a little nibble. I can feel it. I can feel it getting to me. Maybe it's a Weedle, maybe it's a Caterpie, who knows? Of beginning to feel not only that Pokemon excitement, that beautiful happy world, and also the way that it is shared with so many people all over the place. I've seen community members I never expected to love Pokemon come together in our episodes to talk about how cute Eevee is or their favorite Pokemon. Anything that can unite people like that and make them happy to share just things that make them happy together, it makes me so happy. So it sounds cliche, but I feel like this little bug of joy is beginning to nibble at me when it comes to Pokemon. Not just enjoy it for myself, but be able to appreciate how it's really bringing so many people together just to talk about their favorites. And as a result, I might want to have more Pokemon swag and merch hanging around my room. It does run in my blood, however. I will say that if you think that this is kind of silly, my brother is actually a Nintendo fan expert level, and he has every single Pokemon and every single Nintendo game that has come out related to Pokemon in almost every language you can get. Like, he is a very, 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 very talented Nintendo and Pokemon collector expert, and maybe one day he will allow me to show off his amazing collection. But I think that that may be where a little bit of this bug comes from. So if you see other Pokemon merch starting to come in now and then, just know maybe I'm just trying to kind of keep up with my brother just a teensy bit, because man, Pokemon makes him happy too. So I look forward to sharing the adventures with you. I would recommend the bundle if you are looking into getting it and it's something that you want. I wasn't sure because the price point kind of made me have a mild panic attack. However, the game works great. The Switch works great. It was much easier to set up and use than I was worried about. I'm still terrified of dropping it like all the time, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful, it's cute. If Pokemon's your thing, I think that the design of it definitely looks much, much better in person than I was expecting. And I'll let you guys know how the Pokeball goes. From what my brother told me, I think the Pokeball works with Pokemon Go by automatically collecting everything from the Pokemon stops that you walk by, so you don't have to stop and spin. You can just have this with you. It will light up when you go past a Pokemon stop, and it will automatically collect the things from it for you. I don't know if that's how it actually works, because I need to reinstall Pokemon Go now. But if that's the case, I'll get back to you guys on this, and maybe we'll even go on some fun walks with our Pokemon and we'll see what we can find out there. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I just really wanted to show off how beautiful this is, how much fun it is, and to kind of tell you guys how happy I am to have a whole new way to share some great adventures with you. So I'll see you guys next time when Eevee and I shall resume adventuring around the world and hopefully finding many more Pokemon to share the journey with us. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!